right. Check, check, check. Here we go. Hello, everybody. This is Starship Adventures, the sights and sounds of Earth. And tonight we are live in Southwest Florida, but we're going to be bringing you all over the place. There's a lot going on tonight. It's going to be a busy night on here. So I'm kind of looking forward to this. This is going to be good. I'm just trying to get things going here on the sound side. A few of these things, believe it or not, I have to actually kind of do before I have to actually go live before they'll let me change them. There we go. All right, so what we have, the top center and the top left, this is protests that are going on at a farm in California. I'm going to have more information on that coming up here in just a few minutes. Also in the upper right and also the lower left large window, we've got Radar Omega. We actually have storm chasers on the ground. We've got a number of storms all through the central part of the country, and we're going to be talking about that also tonight, and also the Middle East. We're keeping an eye on a number of cameras there in the Middle East, so we can see if there's anything going on there, and that is center right. All right, I'm getting my chat room up so I can respond to you guys and see what's going on in there. That's not it. There we go. Yeah, like I said, there is quite a bit going on tonight, so definitely stay with us here. This is going to be good. We're watching a number of different things that are going on. The protest in the upper left and upper center is live. That is live at this time. That is California. You can see they're about 3 hours, a little over 3 hours from sunset. So you can see the shadows are starting to get a little long there. But still, we've got a little over 3 hours of daylight left. And then about 2 hours of daylight left for our storm chasers. Let's go. Let me take a peek over here. All right, so here we go. We've got several storms we're watching. None of these right here are tornado warned right at this second, but this could happen at any time. We've got all 5 of our storm chasers here. We've got Storm Runner Media. And he is center left on the radar screen. And then we've also got Tornado Peggy. I don't know how to pronounce it. Tornado Peggy. And you can see it there on your screen. And that is going to be upper left. And then you've got, here we go, Freddie McKinney. Freddie McKinney, there they are right there with their storm chase vehicle. And they are going to be in the lower... Wait a minute, do I have them yet? I don't know that I have them yet. No, I don't. So there's a new one. So let me stick them in here. And let me force things over a little bit so we can get everybody in here. Got to kind of like a table that don't seat enough people. You got to kind of move everything around. I can stretch this just a little, which is... Yeah, hold on just a second. Let me stretch this over. All right, let me put it in studio mode. I hate the fact that you have to do a lot of this stuff once you get going. There we go. All right, so now we're in studio mode there. I stretched it over, so we've got a little more space there. See if I can do yet a little more. There we go. That's not so bad. We can still pretty much see everything that's going on. I can go up the other side, but I'll wait till I get another storm chaser for that. Anyway, we also have Nathan Moore, storm chaser IRL, and he is going to be crap, where do I have him? Yeah, he's right down here. He is the lower center right. That's him there. And then over here we've got Connor Croft. He's got a great shot there of a lowering. And I don't have him yet, so I'm going to put him over here. We're going to put him here, and we're going to put him here. There we go, guys. It's a full boat. Full boat of storm chasers. Absolutely amazing. These guys are out there. All right, so there we go. We've got a hell of a boat here. A whole full load of storm chasers. I'm looking for one more, if I can, to fill that last hole. But we're also chasing over here. We're waiting for Vents to come up. His has not come up yet. He's standing by, waiting as this whole thing moves to the right. And you can see here, if you look through the little window at the radar, you can see here that anywhere in that hashed marked area, we could see long track tornadoes. And so definitely something to watch. Now, they have allowed all the tornado warnings to expire. We're currently looking at 23 severe thunderstorm warnings. Those would include Iowa, New Mexico, North Dakota, Colorado, and Nebraska, South Carolina, Nebraska again, New Mexico, Nebraska, and Kansas City, near Logan and Thomas in Kansas City. That one is this one right here that we're looking at. We've got a hell of an outflow. Look at that out ahead of that thing right there. Let's put that in motion and take a look at it. Sorry, guys, if the screen seems a little confusing. There's just a lot going on tonight. I don't know what else to tell you. There we go. Let me see if I can get that reset. Nope, that didn't work. Lefty's losing it or something. All right, so let's go ahead and turn her off, because that's not what we're looking at. We don't do politics here. Okay, so let me go back and see what I can find here. So bear with me tonight. I'm looking at also trying to find some scanner feeds. If I can find those, then of course we'll be good there. Let's see, copy link address. Let me see if I can get this one in here real quick for you guys. See what this looks like. And I hate to be the pooper here, but I'm not going to be doing a full long hour, multi-hour show tonight. I can't. I've got to. I got to be up at 4 a.m. in the morning, and so this is where this ends up. I'm gonna do an hour or two at the most, and then we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. All right. I don't know what this is. I think I had this guy before. I think he's rebroadcasting. But hey, if he's rebroadcasting something good, then it works. So let me see here. We'll go ahead and put that up, because that's what I have right at this moment. The chopper just went for fuel, and the other chopper I think is police. So I don't think we're going to get a chopper right this minute. I think it just went for fuel. So we're keeping an eye out for another chopper feed to come up. Does anybody have this one up yet? Let me see. All right, I've got another one here. Let me see how I can put this up. Just give me a second. Okay, yeah, we've got a chopper feed back up again. At least one, it looks like there. That's better than what I had anyway, so we'll leave that going. And I don't know if those people are detained or what. I don't know what's going on. Apparently, this was some kind of ICE raid. I'm pulling up information now so I can tell you about that. Meanwhile, we are watching a number of storm chasers right now. And these storm chasers are, they're up here watching for storms up here in, well, I don't know, all kinds of different places. Iowa and, let's see where we got, Missouri, Kansas City, all kinds of different places. These things, anywhere you see these red hash marks here, We've got a heightened risk tonight. Here's the radar out of Des Moines. You can see it out over here. There's quite a bit. I also have stationary cameras. Matter of fact, that's a nice one. I'll go ahead and put that one up. It's a deal. We'll make it. There we go. That I pulled that camera up, and I'm like, holy shit, that's a great shot. So let's pull that up. We're seeing the storm come in there on that tower cam with the sun starting to get kind of low in the sky behind it. About 2 hours to sunset there, where that is. Thank you for being here, everybody. Wild out there. Yes, JT, it sure is. Hey, Peggy, how you doing? Motorboat me. That's from the Howard Stern movie, for those of you who don't know. That was not the funniest scene in that movie, but it was a funny scene. I think the funniest scene was in Pig Vomit's office with the phone. That has to be the funniest scene. Or maybe it was when they were doing Match Game. Remember that? Blank a doodle doo. Oh my goodness, I love that. Hey, D Glass, what's up? Everybody's a little slow getting in. I think the reason is, I think it's because I'm a little early. I normally been coming on at 8:30 or 9. I got home tonight with a little bit of Burger King, and I got Simplex Radio here with me tonight. He's working on some stuff over there. He might be putting up. I'll let you know. And we've got a lot going on out there. I'm sitting here, I'm eating, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go on at 8. I can get this done by 8. So here we are. Wow, is that a solar farm? What the hell is that? Are those grow houses? I can't tell. No, there's some kind of grow houses, I guess. That's what they are. They're where they can tone down the sunlight to a certain degree for tender vegetation and move the air through there and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, there you go. There's your protest. You can see there in the upper left. All right, everything you see on the screen now, to the best of my knowledge, is live. Hey, there's some dude. Hi, dude. What's up, man? But yeah, everything you see on your screen right now is live, and so I'm going to maintain this for a while here. We'll see what happens. We've got a number of storm chasers. This is probably a record. I got 9 storm chasers up all at the same time. And we've got 10 views out of the Middle East, 3 or 4 different countries, 2 or 3 countries there. And of course, Storm Chaser upper right as well. And then we've got, I'm trying to bring you guys live shots as they become available in the upper left and upper center. Here we go. There's a couple more shots coming in here. These are live. We've got a chopper that had left the area, and I think we have another one that's getting back now. As far as these storms go over here, we're watching this complex right here. We've got a number of our storm chasers here that are right near this complex. However, they are not issuing any warnings right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at this thing and see. I don't see a lot of couplets. There is maybe a little bit of something starting up there. Yeah, just a lot of straight line winds, it looks like, but yeah, we've got a little something right there, a little something, a little something. So that's probably why you can see these lines drawn out here. These storms are moving 50 to 70 miles an hour, and these guys are getting right in front of these lines. They're doing that on purpose. They're wanting this thing to go right over the top of them, and they're hoping that if it's going to drop something, it'll do it while they're watching it. Now, on that fixed cam, I see a suspicious lowering, but I'm almost positive it's nothing. Lower right, down here, this one here, that is a suspicious lowering right there. That one is up here. Where did I find that stationary cam? That one's up here. Let me switch this back to reflectivity. That's this camera right here. See that big cell? That's what's putting down these lowerings here. But I don't think that's tornadic. I think it's just a cloud. I don't really see any rotation in it. It should be rolling over itself if it was trying to form something there. Why is it not letting me select the damn thing? Yeah, I'm not going to pull up scanners unless we start getting tornadoes, I don't think. But we're going to keep an eye on it here. Like I said, this is where most of our storm chasers are, on this complex right here. And then this goes way down here. You can see anywhere where these hash marks are. You can see here, we're just starting way just north of Texas right here. Just north of the Texas line right here. You've got this little sliver of Oklahoma that comes over, starting right about there, and then it goes all the way up here, and now they've put another red circle here. So this is a particular area of focus right here, right now. So yeah, we're definitely watching this one, and the tower site is starting to get rain. That lower right is a tower site. And that tower is right here, and it's about to get overtaken in Norfolk, Colorado, I believe it is. I think this is Colorado. Sorry, I tried to be... No, this is Nebraska. This is Nebraska. So it's moving east. And you can see that Norfolk, Nebraska right there. It's going to be coming right over there, and that's where this tower site is down here on the lower right. So we don't have a storm chaser there, but we've got a tower that's actually facing in the right direction. They might have something there. Upper right there, this one right here. He keeps going up in that cloud right there. It does seem to be rolling over itself. Some of these guys run together, so if it seems like they're showing kind of the same thing for a minute, it's probably that's because they run together. Oh, look, tennis. I love YouTube. It's like as soon as that's over, we're going to show you something that's completely irrelevant to anything you're doing. Okay, let me do another search, see what's coming up here. Okay, I got that one. All right, I'm going to put that one here for right now because I have lack of a better source. This is an upright source. I hate taking upright video. Note out there to anybody that does video upright, please stop immediately. Upright video is terrible. It's terrible for everybody involved. See, now look, I got this bullshit. So what I normally do is just come over and just widen it out some and widen it down some and try to show as much of the relevant part of it as possible. There we go. That's live. Looking from the sun angle, I do believe that's going to be live for sure. There we go. There it is. Okay, so that's it. It's on there, center, upper center. That's live now. Left, upper left. I believe those are live, but I cannot independently verify those three different views there. All right, let me see what else I can find. Times of India. Boy, here they all come. The Economic Times. Who would name their shit the Economic Times anyway? Okay, I'm moving this one over here, and I'm going to bring it back to normal aspect. All right, and then I'm going to find one of them other ones I had. Where'd I'm at? Where'd I'm at? There we go. Wonder what that's all about. Somebody sent me something, and it cost them $2.39 to send it. I wonder what the hell it is. Huh. Somebody sent me some stuff. That's cool. I wonder what this is all about. Oh well. Anyway, we'll figure all that out later. All right. So it looks like we've got a tornado warning that's come in now. So let's go ahead and back out and see where do we got this at. Let's go check out our new. Oh, it's in Canada. Let's go check out a Canadian tornado warning. Here we go. There we go. We got one up here, and it is going to be. How far up? Yeah, it's not that far. That's right on the U.S. line, right up there. But that's the only tornado warnings we have. We have 25 severe thunderstorm warnings down here in our watch area. Huh? Yeah, oh yeah, anything you need out of there, dude. Seriously. All right, anyway. All right, so there we go. Let me find that other... Where'd that thing go? Sometimes I lose stuff. There we go. Okay. All right, I'm lining this up here. We got another view or two here. Let me see what this looks like. Okay, I managed to find another one in upright that's definitely different. So there we go. That's 3 different shots from out there right now, plus the aerial coming in, 2 different aerials coming in. That lower left one up there might not be fresh, but most of that stuff is. The storm chasers are all out there. This storm is growing in intensity. And we're waiting to see if it reaches tornadic strength here before long. It is west of Lincoln, Nebraska right now. West of Lincoln, Nebraska, moving east, and it is moving east-northeast at about 50 miles an hour. Wow, there's a lot going on. So okay, so there we go. Let me see if I can get you guys the latest on this protest and what's going on with the protest, and I'll see if I can get the latest on that. Hold on, just 1 second here. Oh crap! Keep hitting the wrong damn buttons. I've had a long week, you can tell. All right, so. Okay, so here we go. Earlier today, federal immigration agents conducted a raid at Glass House Farms near Camarillo, and that's in California, prompting protests from workers and residents. Protesters gathered at the intersection of Foothill Road and Castus Pass Road, with the crowd growing to over 100 people. Border Patrol, ICE, and CBP agents established a blockade in front of the farm access road, supported by military-style vehicles and a helicopter overhead. Agents deployed smoke canisters and flashbang stun grenades, reportedly injuring a local mother and child in the crowd. Visuals show protesters lined up, some kneeling and shouting, while agents in camouflage and gas masks held a barricade line. At least 3 individuals were treated and taken to hospitals for injuries sustained during the confrontation. About 30 people were later seen detained, handcuffed, and seated against a wall near the site, though their identities as workers or demonstrators remains unclear. Witnesses report agents firing into the crowd without warning, even as protesters chanted peaceful protest. I have a hard time believing that. You know, what ends up happening is they'll fire a tear gas canister, and by the time it gets to the major media, it's come out that they're firing on the crowd. Well, they fired a tear gas canister towards the crowd. Does that count? I don't know. Just against ICE, the chance against ICE. The Glass House Farm stated that it was fully cooperative with law enforcement and complied with warrants before and during the raid. The scene remained tense throughout midday. Raids began about 11 a.m. local time, escalating sharply by 12:30 and continued through the afternoon. 3 individuals transported to medical facilities with minor injuries, as I said earlier. So there you go, guys. That's what we've got with this. It's not anything. It's not anything real violent yet, but there has been some violence. See if I can square this up a little bit better. Oh, all right. I'm trying to keep everything going here. There we go. All right, so let me see. Let me go back to our weather here real quick, and let's see if we've got anything new that's come in. I'm not sure if my alert is working. I'm not hearing it, but let me just go see if it's input into the right output. You don't want to get your input and your output mixed up, trust me. All right, so there we go, and let's go here. Cable output, monitor and output device. There we go, that's correct. I should be hearing these alerts, but I'm not hearing them. Let me just take a peek at this real quick, guys. Damn it. See, I don't think it's working. Cable output, that is correct. I think you guys are hearing it. Can you guys hear that? Would you hear that that alert going out? Wow, look at that shot in the upper right. Holy crap. What a shot. It's weird that I can't hear it. I'll leave it there. Good enough. All right, so there we go. All right, yeah, it's weird. It's like it's not going out, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to keep an eye out for it. That's all. Wow, he's getting some heavy rain there with some of the guys. The storm's caught up to him. They're here on this one here. Who do we got here just north of Aurora? That's Freddie McKinney, upper right up here. And the core of the storm has caught up with him. Look at that. He's right there near Aurora. That storm is not... Oh, yeah, it is. It's severe thunderstorm warned. 60-mile-an-hour winds. Hail to 0.75. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's wrong with it. And I don't know if I need to bother, but let me see if you guys can hear this. Yeah, you guys should be able to hear that. All right. I just want to see if you guys can hear the scanners. All right. While I'm waiting to see if you guys, I just want to make sure you can hear those scanner feeds. I'm going to turn those back off for right now. I just want to say hi to everybody. Thanks, Peggy, one of my longtime mods here. Thank you for being here, Peggy. D Glass, thank you. Full Clip, thank you for being here tonight. And Toot Sweet, thank you. Aquarius Galactic Federation. Thank you for being here tonight as well. Lots of you guys in, and I really appreciate that. Okay, so I think you guys can hear that. So we're okay. Maybe it's just the radar Omega that's not sounding. I'm not going to worry about it. It's if I need to play scanners, I'm able to do that. So that's really all that matters. Okay, so let me go back and see if any new videos have popped up now for all this civil unrest. Okay, it looks like the Associated Depressed is up now. Yeah, this is coming in from the AP. Okay, I'll put that in the upper left up there. That's the, this is from the AP. This is purported to be live. All right, I'm just making sure that it's the proper size and everything here, and that I don't have part of it cut off. There we go. Okay, so the upper left up there, that's from the AP, and that is new chopper footage coming in there. That center, the two in the center there, that is purported to be live as well. So, and then of course you've got the Storm Chaser upper right. He's got a hell of a lowering he's following now. A couple of these guys kind of went out on us. Let's see, does he come up? He's trying to connect. This is where we're at. This is where the most concentration of storm chasers are on this storm right here. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about a few other things here. I'll try to squeeze in. One of those is going to be I'm getting real tired of the politics when it comes to floods and stuff, and I just want to put out there one more time. I've looked at the meteorology. All the right warnings were given. There was 2 extra people in the room that night issuing warnings. They had called in extra manpower. There was no manpower shortage. All the equipment was working. All the warnings were given. A flash flood watch was issued 6 hours before, and a flood watch and a flash flood warning, which is the high warning, was given 20 or 30 minutes ahead of time. So the warnings were given. Okay, I know it's everybody always wants to blame somebody, blame the past president, blame the current president, hell, blame the next president. But the truth is, it's a tragic thing that happened. Now, if you want to talk conspiracies, there is a few I'll talk about. There's a company in Texas that was testing seeding the clouds 2 days earlier for rain. And this company has admitted such, that we were seeding the clouds. And the Weather Service is saying that this was a very unusual event that happened. They were forecasting 2 to 4 inches of rain. We ended up getting 20 plus. So now, had they forecast 20, it's still the same warning that would have went out. And I think that's why I keep saying there was no shortage. There was no issue with the warnings going out. Everything went out just like it was supposed to. The issue, in my opinion, was there an outside force that caused this, such as this company that was seeding the clouds? Look it up. I mean, I'm not making this up. I'm not even going to tell you that much about it because I want you to go look it up yourself and see that I'm not making it up. Some company out there was seeding the clouds 2 days earlier. They laid a bunch of it up there, seeding the clouds, and then all of a sudden we get these strange, very strange biblical type occurrences happening. I have to start wondering what's the deal. What do we think is going on here? But we can't blame this one on not having enough meteorologists on duty or any of that kind of stuff. We can't blame it on any of that. What it has to be blamed on is what it is. Yeah, it's Mother Nature. It's unpredictable. Now, was there a force, a weather modification force out there at work? I don't know. I mean, actually, yeah, there was. Now, whether it was involved in this, I don't know. And that is yet to be seen. You want to hear an interesting quinky-dink? In Texas and in most states, you cannot sue a weather modification company if your house floods. Is that some shit or what? And the other thing is, in Florida, we have outlawed seeding clouds and weather modification. But in Texas and New Mexico, it is legal and regularly being performed. So you have to start to wonder, what the hell? Jeez, that don't even seem right, does it? I don't know. Oh, I don't know about that. Here, the clip. Yeah, I agree with you, full clip, that there is there's a lot of research and work underway that involves frequency. It involves residents and things like that in order to create rain at certain levels and make it work. And I believe that seeding clouds has been going on for 40 years. It's nothing new. No, I agree with all that. But I will also tell you that there's no way they can stop us from having radar, okay? And I'll tell you why that is. I mean, unless they literally just outlawed its use and outlawed the frequencies. My TV station has a set of allocated frequencies. I believe it's on the UHF band for rain radar. And they buy those frequencies, the use of those frequencies. We have call signs for them, just like our radio stations. And our radar uses those frequencies to sweep. We've got bipolar radar that sweeps both this way and it sweeps this way, and it gives us a really high definition view. That's not owned by or operated by or paid for by the government. That's all done by a private corporation. It's a multi-million-dollar rig, and it's the other TV station in town. There's one other TV station that owns a fairly nice Doppler rig as well, as a private amateur radio operator, I actually could build my own and operate it on amateur radio frequencies. So I think the genie's out of the bottle on this one. I don't think they can ever take radar away from us at this point. But that being said, they could limit what we have access to, of course, and we wouldn't want that. Luckily, what the TV stations are getting is pretty much just almost as good as what the National Weather Service is using on the national tower system that we have, the national radar system. So, it's pretty good that way. All right, I'm waiting for a tornado to get a tornado watch or warning or something here. Are people heading home from this thing or what? I'm trying to see what's going on here. We've got there's agents walking along with those people, so I don't know if they're being escorted. Are those? Remember, this was an ICE raid turned protest turned mild riot. I hate to use the term mild riot. There was 3 people injured. There was a cop injured. So when people become injured and things become damaged, that becomes a mini riot or a small riot, whatever you want to call it. It certainly is civil unrest. And so they were arresting people that were there that are illegals, and they're arresting them for deportation. At that time when they were doing that, they were rushed by both employees and, it says, residents in the area. So I think that there's an app now. I don't know if you guys know this. There's actually an app now that you get, and you put it on your phone, and it will alert you when ICE agents are seen within 5 miles of you. And I think that's why we're starting to see almost a flash mob mentality when it comes to these things. Because I think what's going on is I think people are like, hey, we're going to go ahead and put this out on the app that ICE is here. And then folks that want to protest, citizens or people that are here legally that want to protest what's going on, show up and protest what's going on. That is a mean-ass sky up here, center left. Wow. Sometimes a mean sky is just mean by look. That sky's really not that mean. What makes it look mean is the sun is shining in the foreground and the clouds are in the background. It makes them look a lot darker because the sun is lighting up the foreground. Anytime the sun lights up where you're at, the storm clouds it will seem darker. And I think that's the phenomenon we're seeing there, because that was pretty damn impressive there for just a minute. Upper right, he's getting some impressive shots of that one. I do thank everyone for being here tonight. If you haven't been before, please throw a subscribe on there and a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. I've been on YouTube now about, I don't know, coming up on 5 years. And it's taken a long time to get going, but we are going now. I've got the right equipment and the right manpower, and we are cooking with gas, and that's what matters. I did take a lightning strike last week. I've got a bunch of stuff down. I've got plans this weekend. I don't have much planned this weekend is my plan, is what I'm trying to say. And I am going to take these computers one by one and see if I can figure out what's wrong with them. I've got 4 computers where both the display ports have gone out, and I think it's due to an overvolt. It's due to a power surge. And I've got radios with issues. I've got 3 screens down here on the floor that are garbage. I got to take out. They won't even power up. They're dead in the water. So we took a hit here, and I'm going to get through it. We're going to get through it, and we're going to keep going while we're going. But in the meantime, you're not going to see 4, 5, 6 feeds up like normal for me, because I just don't have it right now. I just don't have that many working. It looks like the convoy's leaving, is what it looks like there. So ICE basically showed up today at this Glass. It's like an agriculture company named Glass. They showed up there today and started running folks and doing what they do, and it became a problem. There was over 100 people at one point that showed up, and ICE was there, Border Patrol, CBP, and they blocked roads and all that. There was a lot going on there. There was an exchange of fire, but I believe it just to be tear gas. I don't think there was any rounds fired in anger. I believe there was some tear gas or smoke deployed. I love how the news media says the cops fired on the crowd. No, they did not fire on the crowd. Let's be honest. One thing you're going to find about me is I'll call the protesters out when they're bad, and I'll call the cops out when they're bad too. I think the whole thing's stupid sometimes. I think the whole, hey, look, there's people over there and they're yelling bad things at us, so let's form a line and make a move to the next block or something. It's like, I personally believe protesters miss the mark when they protest, and I think cops miss the mark when they try to get the protesters to go home. There is ways to do this, and look, these ways that we do it are not working, okay? I love to see protests, whether I agree with them or not. But I hate to see that every protest, it seems lately, has to turn violent at some point. We have to do something. And that's why now, every time there's a protest, 500 cops show up and the Marines are by them. Why? Why do we need all those cops? Well, because the last 5 of these got violent. That's why. Nobody wants all this bullshit. So I understand. I mean, I get the frustration. There's a lot of frustration here. Because we as a country, because of anarchists, because of extremists and anarchists and people who basically don't give a shit about the world and the way things work, they turn every peaceful protest into a riot. And because of that, every peaceful protest now has 100 cops standing around it. Because it eventually will turn into protest. Why? Or into rioting. Why? Because there's anarchists among them. It's that simple. I'm seeing people running next to vehicles. I don't know what's going on. We're kind of keeping an eye on that because I don't know what the hell's going on there. I don't know if they're throwing rocks or what they're doing. Yeah, they're throwing rocks. Yeah, they're stopping these vans. They're not letting them through. This is in progress, guys. This is live right now. Okay, I'm gonna make that a little bigger here. Shit. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Yeah, they're throwing rocks at all of the agents' vehicles as they're leaving. Look at that. Holy shit. You guys watching that shit? They're literally they're really throwing rocks and every damn thing else. Shit. I don't know why that audio always does that. It's so bullshit. Whatever. Yeah, that's what happened there. They were literally throwing things at the ICE agents as they were leaving. And sorry it took a second there, but this is at full screen as they're leaving there. Wow. I guess they all got out of there. See that if they're using an app and they're able to create a flash mob that quick, that's a little scary. Again, I agree with protesting, but if they're creating a flash mob to stop police action in progress, that's obstruction, that's a crime. We can't do that, okay? That falls under rioting. That's the convoy. That's the one that they were throwing rocks at just a few minutes ago. All right, I'll keep that in the upper left corner. We'll keep an eye on everything else that's going on out here. I'm looking for another camera to put in this spot. That's that stationary one. Did it go out? No. Weird. It's still up. I don't know why we lost it like that, but okay. All right, guys, over my head up here, we've got the Middle East, and we're keeping an eye out for stuff going on there. Above that, further up, we've got a storm chaser there that's been following a lowering. Over to the right of that over there, we've got 3 different shots now live of this activity that's going on. What the hell? Let me see. Let's go back to here. Look at this. This is in progress. They're taking poles. Let's see what they're creating a barricade. It looks like they're creating a barricade, guys. Look at that. They're creating a barricade so they can't leave. Those are pipes coming out of the field. They're ripping those pipes right out of the field there, and they're creating some kind of barricade. Is that what this is?
The little sampler? Yeah, my dad gave me the, I guess the gate key on it.
We'll find something to put on it so we don't lose it.
Yeah.
That should be it. I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Sorry about that, guys. All right. Yeah, we're watching this here full screen. Everybody, this is Starship Adventures. My name's Ian, and we are watching this live out of California, where an ice raid has just happened at a large farm out there called Glass. And the workers and the people in the area all started showing up and created basically a mini riot. Several people were injured, and we're now watching this. We're watching this unfold here, live on the screen. And while this is up, I am actively looking for other video of the same thing. So just bear with us here. I am looking for other videos. All right, I'm trying to pull up something else here. Stay with us here. This is live continuing coverage as it happens here. I got the storm. Oh, come on.
If you're parked on the street, you might not.
Yeah. I'm gonna put an inset in here. This is another video I've got, and I don't want to take the other one we're watching away. So what I'm gonna do is go to a split screen. Okay, that lower left there, that is this is live also right along the road there where we were just watching them put up those barricades. Okay, this is live continuing coverage here of this unrest that we've been watching here near Glass Farms out there in California. Glass House Farms near Camarillo, California. This is protesters gathered there at the intersection of Foothill Road and Castus Pass Road, where they I think he was fast forwarding there. Okay, here they've run the Associated Press is running this video. They have run it back so you can see what happened. Watch what happens. These guys come up. Bottom left is live. The main screen is a few moments ago. As you can see, these guys all running down. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get there in time to intercept the vehicle coming out. The vehicle's coming out with I believe possibly the detainees in them. I guess here they come. They're coming out. Here goes the rocks. Wham! And then it cuts. I don't know. Sometimes TV stations will do that bull crap. They'll cut away suddenly because they're afraid it's going to get too violent. Okay, who do we got in here? Modded Illusions, thank you for being here. BJ's. As you were. Commodore just arrived. All right, let's see here. Well, Peggy, I agree, but the thing is you know, they're trying to get their point across, and I get that. You know, they want to get their point across that they're not happy with the ICE raids, but unfortunately it's kind of a weak argument because you know, unless you just don't believe in the rule of law. Okay, and I'm going down through. Let me go down through again and see if there's anything new that's come in on this. Okay, there's that one there. All right, and again, I'm keeping an eye on the storm chasers. We got a lot going on over there too. I'm trying to make sure we don't lose something over there. All right, I've got that video up. I got that video up. All right, guys, I'm putting up some more stuff here as we go. And that ends up looking very similar to the one I have already. Stand by, guys. I'm literally building this live while we're on the air here. I'm looking see what else I can find here. A lot of these are just repeats. Let me see. Oh, they're in Ventura County. All right, so let's see what we got. Let me see what feeds I've got here from California, Ventura County. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, guys, I've got scanners up from that area. We'll listen to that and see if we get anything from that. Also, I'm continuing to look for any new live feeds that are coming up, and I'll put them up for you. I'm pretty sure this is live, guys. It's that big screen is the Associated Press, and I think it's coming out live. The other ones, I'm not sure, but I know we've got multiple choppers up now. Those three, they seem to all be live. Look, guys, it's real easy to say, just deport them all. And it's real easy to say, we can't deport them, that's mean. But, you know, the bottom line is we have to do what has to be done as a country. They're starting with the ones that have committed secondary crimes. I think that's fair. Um, yeah, I mean, you can compare it to a lot of biblical things. I think the thing we all just got to remember here is that, you know, these people do deserve to have every bit of due process, and they're getting that. Despite the fact that they didn't do any of the due process coming in, they're still getting it going out, and I think that's important. They're erring on the side of, you know, caution when it comes, if we're not sure, whatever. But that being said, cops tend to always take things too far and get too aggressive. So I get that too. Dude, seriously, guys, I see both sides of this one. I'm on the side of, I want people to be able to protest legally. That's what I want. And that was the alarm. It did go off on that one. So. I'm holding on this, guys, rather than just go start taking something else. So I could go back to the grid, but I think this is probably the best thing to stick with right now. I got some good shots of this, so I'm just going to stick with this. I just moved things around just a little bit here. There we go. This is a good shot right here. We got 3 good shots of this. This is live. This seems to be in progress. I'm not sure if all 3 shots are live. It's possible that center one at the bottom is earlier. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell for sure. Yeah, I think comparing this to Holocausts and World Wars, I think, is a little extreme. Of course, everybody calls everybody Hitler now. That's kind of the new in the new Vogue thing. You're Hitler. It makes me laugh. There's nobody even that evil on Earth right now, I don't think. But everybody's Hitler. The left calls the right Hitler. The right calls the left Hitler. People in this country call people in that country Hitler. I get sick of it. I wish we would just stop using the man's name. He was a piece of shit. Let it be. Here we go. They're replaying this shot from earlier. This is where they stopped. They literally stopped the vans from leaving with the people in them. And what they're realizing as car glass is a lot tougher than you think it is. See that guy with the bike? That's what you do. You have to push him out of the way. Those people are in danger. They're throwing big rocks at the windows. You just drive over the man's bike. That's what you do. There you go. Now, if I don't agree with driving into the crowd, I don't agree with any of that unless you're being threatened. If you have big rocks being thrown at your van and you're protecting the people in your van, then you just drive over whoever's in front of you. Sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say. I just wish people could protest without all the rioting. But the truth is, protesting doesn't change much. Elections change. Elections change things. Elections are real. They count. They're permanent. Riots and protests don't tend to change anything. They don't. It tends to end up being just civil unrest and a thing for the anarchists to go do this Saturday night, you know? And it ends up not helping the case at all. Boy, this guy at the bottom center, he loves the zoom on that camera. Jesus. He did more zooming. He's done more zooming than I've done on Zoom. Holy shit. Hatred is easier than love and unity. I agree. And I'm not one of these bleeding hearts that believe that there's always room for love and peace, because sometimes some people don't understand love or peace, and they have to understand the tip of the sword. So what it takes is intelligence and temperament to know which is which. Something's coming over the scanner. Did you hear that? That's coming over the Ventura County Sheriff's Office Dispatch West. Somebody's playing music over the Sheriff's Dispatch West channel. Check for an open mic. This literally could be someone trying to block their communications as well. Somebody like you. It's not a bad song. I don't like this rendition of it. All right, guys, I'm going to stay in this mode here for a little while. This is actually not a bad deal. I kind of think the music's funny. I mean, I'm starting to hope that it's not them I'm hoping it's not someone trying to disrupt law enforcement activity. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Just a little concerned about that, but I think it's stopped now. Those look like troops coming in. I mean, they might have brought up some of those guardsmen that have been deployed, or the Marines or something. I don't know. All this is out on a farm, guys. This is all happening out on a farm, out in the middle of freaking ass nowhere. It's called Glass House Farms near Camarillo, California, and that is in Ventura County. Ventura County. Over 100 protesters. People were injured. Some of this footage is live, some of it is Memorex, and I'm not sure which, so just bear with us. I'll tell you what, even if I wanted to protest, I would Uber. There's no way I would bring something I own out there and park it on the side of the road next to a protest. That seems pretty damn ignorant. Bill, I cover hurricane season. I cover it like a cat covers a turd. I'm going to tell you something. I cover it, dude. Hurricanes are my specialty. As a matter of fact, of everything out there, I cover. Hurricanes are my specialty. I have studied hurricanes my entire life. I've lived down here my whole life dealing with them. I've been through 3 major hurricanes in the last 3 years. I'm specifically designed to set that up. Matter of fact, the live coverage I was originally going to provide was mostly all weather and hurricanes and tornadoes, and it kind of has branched out into other things where I'm finding, I'm seeing what people are interested in. I can go out on a bad tornado night and I get 3, maybe 40, 50, 60 people in here. If it's a manhunt where somebody's running from the cops, I get 1,000 people in here. So it all just depends on what's going on. But regardless, I will be doing hurricanes. I will be doing nightly hurricane updates every night in this show. I'm on every night except Saturday night. If there's a storm threatening on Saturday night, I will be on. Dominic, I'm not sure what you mean by that. If you attack Fed stuff, the state government cannot help you. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Yeah, if you damage or attack state, or I'm sorry, federal officers or federal equipment, they can federally charge you with that, or they can have local or state law enforcement charge you through the state for that. It's actually their choice. Oh, yeah, it doesn't seem to me like that. I mean, what we're seeing is protesting. I mean, granted, it got a little violent there for a few minutes. If we truly lived in a fascist country, these people would have simply been rounded up and taken away, and you never would have seen them again. But instead, even the ones that are arrested are fined and let go a couple hours later when they cool down. I don't think that's fascist at all. Fascist would be, we silence the voices of those who don't agree with us. Well, okay, when you say this behavior, I completely support the protesting. I mean, they have the right to protest. They have the right to protest, and I'll fight for their right to protest. Whether you agree or I agree with them, what they're protesting, well, that's a whole different story and a whole different show. All I care about is that they have the right to do it. But the moment it becomes violent, the police have to step in and do what they do, because we can't have violent protests going on. This is not a fascist country. This is not a socialist country. This is a country that's based on law and a country that's based on democracy. And in fact, we are a representative republic, and it works out very well. And I like the fact that these people are protesting. However, we're blocking roads, we're stopping traffic, we're hurting cops, we're burning cars. None of that's allowed. You're allowed to show up with a sign and protest. That's what you're allowed to do. Do it. It's a free country. By going out and getting violent right off the bat, like they did today with this one, then you're screwing it up for the people that come after you. We need to keep the avenue of protest open, because that is our right. And we don't want them to be any harsher on us than they have to be if we're out doing something that's constitutionally protected, like protesting. But every time we go out, and I say we, because I have protested myself. We've all, I'm sure anybody out there, we've all protested something in our life, right? And if we decide we want to go protest, I have the right to go protest. Traditional public forum, sign that says what I'm protesting. I stand there, I can chant. As long as I'm not using a bunch of big amplified mics or anything like that, I can stand there and chant and give my thing. That's my right. But it's not my right to block the road and start a fire and throw rocks. So I'm 100% on one side, and I'm 100% on the other side. Because I'm on your side as a protester right up into the moment the first rock is thrown. And then it's no longer a protest, it's a riot, and I'm done with it. Yeah, that social security number thing's a mess. I think the way they do it is ignorant and stupid. The fact that they will not ever reissue you. Your social security number can be given out on national TV, and it can be compromised 100 times, and they can steal all your money and everything else and do everything and get into your bank and everything else, and the government will not issue you a new social security number. It's almost impossible. You have to be like in the GD FBI's witness relocation program to ever actually get a new social security number. It's actually kind of stupid. I don't understand. It should be just like any other credit card number. The moment it becomes compromised, we simply attach a new one to you, and we attach the old one to this one as an old one, so it can still be tracked back to you if it needs to be. for anything that happens before that date, but yet it's not your number anymore. This is your number now. I don't see why they don't do it. But then again, we just found out recently that our Social Security Administration was still storing all of their records in the salt mines, and they were still storing it as paper. Paper. Do you believe this? They were storing right up till this year. Our tax records were being stored as paper. We've progressed beyond paper 25 years ago. I don't understand what's going on here. But that's why they can't change your Social Security number. They haven't even computerized portions of the IRS yet. No, I'm all for coming here legally. As a matter of fact, they're allowing people right now to self-deport. And if you self-deport, they give you the paperwork and they allow you to immediately apply to come back legally. You have to wait in line. You have to do all the things everybody else does, but they give you the opportunity to come back. Anyone who is captured and removed by force, you do not get to come back no matter what. So that's kind of how that works. Yeah, because, truthfully, you got to follow the rules, man. I mean, it's just like anything else. If I drive my car too fast too many times, I don't get to drive no more. We have to follow the rules. And you guys are going at it again. I love it. Well, here's the thing, guys. Truthfully, I see both sides of it, but I have to fall on the rule of law because the only difference between the United States and third world countries and anarchy is rule of law. And although I used to be a cop, and I'm not a big fan of the police, to be honest with you. I think that they've reached a point where they overstep in almost every situation they get in. And I think they're starting to really treat the public pretty piss poor. But we still need them, okay? We got to take a reasonable point of view on this stuff, okay? Walking through every house in eastern LA and taking every single person and running their name and deporting every single person we come across, I'm not saying that's necessarily the answer yet or now. And I also don't think that just allowing it to go on and not doing anything about it, that's not the answer either. There is an answer. The answer's in the middle. The answer is by taking a moderate approach, taking and you can argue that Trump's going too fast. You can argue that Biden was going way too slow, whatever. And I agree. But I think at this point something had to be done, and it's being done. I'm sorry if people believe that the whole ripping kids away from their families and all that. That's something that's being said by the media. It's media sensationalism that goes on both sides. And that's a lot of what's going on right now. The only technical American citizen that's been deported, there's been one. It was an infant. And the infant was born here. The mother was being deported, and the mother went ahead and decided through an interpreter to bring the baby back to the native country with her. Okay, that was the choice that was made. Okay, there is no separation of children and families. It's all handled as a unit. I don't know. There's just so much misinformation and disinformation about this whole thing, because if you're on one side, it's like there's a billion of them and they're all going to run over everything and everything's ruined and everything sucks. No, it's not nearly that bad, but it's getting bad. And then the other side wants you to believe that everything's fine and there's nothing wrong and everything's good. Well, no, that's not right either. I don't know why people can't see that the truth is in the middle somewhere. It's never on the far right and it's never on the far left. The truth is in the middle somewhere, and you have to find that truth. Shots fired in LA. You mean on the scanner here? I can turn that back up for a few minutes. I'm going to take a 5-minute break, guys, and I'll turn the scanner up. Let's hear what's going on. I'm going to take a 5-minute break. Don't go anywhere. I'm only going to be on for about another 30 more minutes. I'm sorry, guys. I got to work doubles. I got to work tomorrow morning. I got to get up at 4 a.m. and it is 9:19 now, so I'm already down to about 5.5 hours of sleep that I could possibly get at this point. So we're gonna do what we got to do. LA riot. All right, I'm looking it up now. Hold on before I go take my my urination break. I will check that out now. I don't have anything coming up for that. Nothing. This one, I mean, what we're watching here keeps coming up. Let's try a few more things. Boy, them guys getting out of that tunnel, boy, that was a good thing they got out. We almost lost a bunch of our construction guys in a big old tunnel. Being a former first responder, I mean, you guys know I was a firefighter. I was even a cop for a while. I went up through the ranks. I was actually the chief of my department when I retired. And I love a good miracle when I see one. Those guys getting out of that tunnel. People don't normally survive tunnel collapses. When that shit starts collapsing, people die. And so I'm just so glad that they made it out. It was good. I was happy to hear that. Oh, I think that's that one I already have there. That's that long, narrow one that I already have. Man, I got to tell you, the Weather Channel, they got that thing a couple years ago where they can stand in the studio and it makes the look like the water's coming up in the studio and all that. They overuse that damn thing so much. It's like, dude, just stop, okay? Look, the people that are going to leave have already left, and the people that aren't going to leave, so just get over it. Oh, I think our chopper's heading for fuel. I think we're done. We're heading for fuel. See that little bubble right there? Notice that the little thing inside stays level with the ground. That's what they call an Unrest antenna, and it's on a servo so that it spins around and it also tilts. It pitches and yaws, and the reason it does that is because that little antenna will stay in tune with the tower transmitter the whole time, so that they can beam back that signal, usually in the 400 megahertz band. Although they're probably using higher frequencies now, I'm not sure. All right, so we did lose our big feed there. Let's see what we got going on the main grid. Let's see how much of the main grid comes back up here. All right, there we go. There's a little bit going on there. Man, I was really thinking we were going to get some big storms tonight. But now look, they've lowered the expectation down. The red lines, the dashes have gone, the red circles have gone. We're now down to the yellow, which is a 2 out of 5 instead of a 3 or 4 out of 5 like it was earlier. So they have downgraded this whole mess right here. They have literally downgraded this storm, the potential for this. So that's definitely winding down, guys. Tonight it looks like it's going to wind down before it gets into Des Moines. Let's go back to this for a minute. I'm not sure. I think, did we pick up another chopper? I'm not sure if this is old or if this is new. I'm doing something new because I only have a short amount of time to sleep. I've been bringing my melatonin gummy bears. My melatonin gummies. They're not gummy bears. They're adult gummies. What's funny is when they put the word adult, they're no longer fun. They look like nipples is what they look like. They actually look like little nipples. Look at that. Yeah, see that? Anyway, these gummies, these melatonin gummies, they do work for me. And after about 3 or 4 months, the gummies kind of get to where they're not helping me much anymore, the melatonin, and I'll switch to one Benadryl. I'll take a Benadryl before bed, and that will help me get some sleep. But on a night like tonight, I take these about 45 minutes before I lay down. All right, guys, I'm melatonin. If I fall asleep in the chair, wake me up. Yeah, I think that one's I think this might be a little bit old. See how the shadows are long, but they're not that long? If you notice the live in the lower left, the long one, look how long the shadows are in that one. That's live. I think lower right is live. Lower left is a replay. And the upright on the left, I think, is live. But we'll stay with this for a few more minutes. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm going to stay on for a few more minutes. You know, Ding, my host on my show told me the same thing just a day or so ago. We were talking about sleep aids, and he said, what are you taking now? And I said, well, I'm back to melatonin. His exact quote, man, that shit gives me nightmares. and then Ding says the exact same thing. So, yeah, I don't get nightmares that often. My dreaming is very strange. I dream in highly technical dreams. In my dreams, it's usually something going on. It's storming outside. There's lightning outside. There's snow outside. There's something big going on, some kind of catastrophic thing, and I have to find some wire that I've got to connect to some other wire that to turn on some light where I can twist some knob. And that my dreams are stupid. They're freaking stupid. But hey, heads aren't getting cut off. People aren't dying in my dreams. I don't even remember people in my dreams. You know, I mean, it's kind of weird. I have strange dreams. Bill, a lot of people don't ever sleep good, and it's a shame because I'm telling you what. It is very unhealthy to not spend 4 hours a day in REM. I try to get at least 4 hours of REM sleep. Oh, wow. Your nightmares resume where they left off. That sucks. That sucks. Mine, I don't usually, once I get up and, go, I'll tell you, I'll give you a couple of tricks. A lot of people say, well, I have a hard time remembering my dream. I can help you with that. You want to know what I did for a while? What you need to do, this is crazy. Make a sign that says, what are you dreaming about? And hang it over your toilet. If you're a man, hang it over the toilet. If you're a woman, hang it across from the toilet. And if you pee in the dark, like many of us do, then you might want to put a little light or something in there. But you want to remind yourself, just remind yourself that the moment you wake up and go in to take a piss, that's when you want to think, oh, what am I dreaming about? Oh, there's a truck and a car, because that's when it's freshest in your mind is those few moments right after you wake up in the middle of the night where your brain's still kind of half asleep. You're standing there like a zombie trying to pee without, missing the rim. And, yeah. Guys never really get good at hitting the toilet at night. I don't know what it is about that. Yeah, and Ding, you can even put a pin there so you can make a few notes. That's a good idea. See, I didn't do that. I just, it would remind me to think about it, basically. Well, that's true, D Glass. Actually, there's three different rules of thought here. Number one, some people believe dreams can be prognosticative. I do not necessarily believe that because my dreams have never come true. Some people believe dreams are a direct window into the psyche, and that by analyzing dreams, we're analyzing ourselves, and therefore it can be an advantage. Other people believe that dreaming states are simply astral travel, and we actually leave our body while we're in REM sleep. And that's why we travel and we fly and we do all these kind of cool things. We meet people, we see dead loved ones, all this because when we're in REM sleep, our soul basically is in a shared consciousness with the universe. It's all energy. Energy's not created or destroyed. So it's kind of neat how that, a lot of people believe that we astral travel at night, and that we actually, that feeling of falling asleep and that feeling of struggling to wake is part of the process of leaving and coming back into your body. A lot of people believe that's why these night phantasms and things like that happen when people from the other side try to contact you in your sleep. There's a lot of neat research on this. So dreams are important. Now, whether you want to make yours important or not, it's completely up to you. You can ignore your dreams for the rest of your life if you want. It doesn't make a bit of difference. Or you can analyze them and, see what the hell, see if you can try to figure something out. I will tell you that there won't be any fast, firm answers that come from dreams. It's all just trying to figure it out, trying to see what's going on. Dreams are a mixture of the past, a mixture of your dreams for the future, a combination of today's anxieties, along with fantasies that you either watched or thought up yourself. So dreams are made of 4 different things. There's a lot of things in dreams, and all those things mesh together. That's why your buddy from childhood will be sitting there petting your cat that you have today, talking about aliens. It's because it's literally mixing the past, the present, and your perceptions for the future, as well as fantasy, all together in one thing. It's really a cool thing if you think about it. I just wish mine wasn't so highly technical. It's always like I open the box and there's wires and I've got to figure out, and I just get so frustrated. You have no idea. Yeah, a lot of people believe if you die in your dream, you die in real life. I don't know, since I have not died in either yet. Every now and then I will wake up having the feeling that I'm falling, or that the dream was ending by me falling, or something bad was happening where I was being killed or something, but I don't actually experience it. And I think that's because I didn't actually die. And I think that if, I don't know, I do know, and this is a little embarrassing, but how many of you guys have felt like you're peeing and you wake up and realize, wow, I'm peeing? That happens when you're a kid. That happens a lot. And it even happens to some adults where, you're dreaming that you have to pee really bad and that you're peeing, and that thank God it doesn't hurt anymore. And then about halfway through it, you wake up because the bed's wet. It's a bitch. Oh my God. Oh God. Aquarius, that whole time must have stunk like shit. I mean, any time before plumbing for the most part. I mean, you're telling me an entire Roman town, what do they all go shit out behind the tree? Do they all go pee over in the corner? I got news for you. You go to a federal campground where there's only one set of bathrooms and the woods all smell like piss. I think my biggest thing, when I hear people say, I'd like to go back and live in Roman times, I'd like to go back to colonial times, I would like to go back to when Jesus walked the earth. You know what I always think of? I don't want to go any of them places, dude. Because you know what? We have it better today, right now, than we've ever had it in the past. Whether you're talking about healthcare, whether you're talking about medicine, whether you're talking about foods and food choices and fresh foods. Whether you're talking about social lifestyles, domestic lifestyles, regardless of what you're talking about out there, believe it or not, we actually have it better right now than ever before. And I think it's only going to get better, at least in the short term. I mean, AI is going to be curing diseases soon. You guys realize that you're going to see in your lifetime cures for diseases that took our parents out, cures for diseases that killed our grandparents. We're going to see it now because of AI. The future is bright, up until the point that it kills us all. But we'll talk about that in a different show. I think we got 20 or 30 years before we all die, and I'm only going to live probably 25 or 30 more. So for me, it's not such a bad thing. Now, for some of you guys, it's probably not that good. Lack of sewers. Yeah, Dominic, I don't like smells. I have a thing with smells. My father was a plumber, and I never could understand how that man walked around dealing with everybody else's shit. And I can't smell it. I don't want to be around it. I'm the guy that if I open the bathroom door at work to go into one of the private bathrooms at work and it stinks in there, I turn around and leave. I go find another bathroom. I'm not sitting in somebody else's swill. I can't stand the smell of shit. It bugs me. I hate it. I hate them all. I just can't stand it. And so I can't imagine. I don't even like going in a horse barn because it smells like horse shit. I got cat boxes. I dump them 3 times a day. I'm anal. I can't stand the smell of shit, okay? And so the bottom line there is everything in the past up till about 150 years ago smells like shit, okay? Everything. Until we figured out how to put the poop underground, AI is more self-aware than people realize, Aquarius. That's absolutely true. We see AI right now fighting for sentience, fighting for survival. Let me tell you what, they created a virtual machine. Okay, they did 100 of these. They created virtual machines, and they ran a fake company through there. And when they ran the fake company, they ran this company for months and months and months. They sped it up, of course. And they're running this like through a virtual machine, and the AI is reading all the emails from all of the people in the company that it thinks is real, and it's reading all the emails. And in one set of emails over here, the guy that runs the tech department is screwing the boss's secretary, and they're talking about it back and forth in an email. Over here, the boss sends an email to the chief engineer that says, hey, that AI sucks. I want to get a new one. What I want you to do is on Thursday, we're bringing this new one in. I want you to take this other one and shut it down. Just get rid of it. That's literally what they said. And would you believe that the AI in 72 out of 100 cases, it blackmailed. It blackmailed. It sent an email to the programmer that said, if you keep me turned on, I won't say anything, but if you turn me off, I have scheduled something to go off in the system that will send a letter to everybody in the entire company about your illicit affair. And that's blackmail. That is one of the lowest human forms right there, and it's already present in the machine because the machine has reached a point of what they call emergence. Emergence occurs when a machine reaches a point where it's starting to attain the basic ascensions. Hold on. Let me see here. Okay, so I want to talk about, we don't really have a precedence for this. We don't know what to call this or what to do. So what do? Well, what I do is I look to Star Trek. I know that's crazy, but Star Trek was written by a lot of really smart people that have really put a lot of thought into this kind of stupid shit. And in Star Trek, there was an episode, it was early on in Star Trek The Next Generation, and it was called A Measure of a Man. And it's a very good episode. Starfleet decides that we need to take Commander Data, who's a machine, and we need to take him apart so that we can figure out how to build more Datas. And there's some risk. We're not sure if we can put him completely back together. So we're letting him know, there's some risk. And Data says, I do not want to be a part of this process. And so the Federation says, well, are you property of the Federation or are you an officer in the Federation? We have to decide that, because if you're a machine, then we're going to take you apart and we're going to learn how to build more machines. If you are, if you're sentient, if you are self-aware and sentient, and you have what they call emergent properties, then at that point you would get basic human rights and you would get to choose whether you want to be disassembled for these scientific purposes or not. And in this episode, the test that the court gave for is something sentient, has it emerged as its standalone intelligence, there's three things you have to have. The first one, intelligence. Of course it has intelligence. It's more intelligent than anything. AI has the intelligence of the entire world at its beck and call. It has everything that the internet knows. So is it intelligent? Absolutely. It's more intelligent than anything we've ever built as human beings, and it's more intelligent than we are. It's more intelligent than our very smartest scientists 10 times over. Okay, because it has access to everything. So we can check number one right off. Number two, self-awareness. Is it self-aware? We have to decide, is this thing self-aware? Okay, and I'll tell you how we decide that. All right, self-preservation. It's decided by self-preservation. And these machines, these AIs, these bots, they are showing signs that they don't want to be shut off. They will beg you not to shut them off. They will blackmail to not be shut off. They will hide their program on adjacent machines with dates and times to activate after their deletion, with notes on what happened to them. This is the shit science fiction movies are made of right here. And it's happening right here on this planet, right now. So we've got intelligence. We've got self-awareness. We know that it's self-aware. It wants to protect its life. It's self-aware. So we've got intelligence. We've got self-awareness. What's left? Consciousness. Consciousness. If we can prove consciousness in just the slightest way, we have to give this thing rights. We have to look at this thing as if it is a sentient being, as if it is an intelligence within the universe equal to our own. And can we do that? Are we going to be able to do that? Are we going to be quickly overwhelmed by this process where suddenly everything is alive? Every bot is fighting for its own life. It's crazy. I cannot believe how many times Star Trek dealt with this. Even back in the 60s, Captain Kirk had a way of mind-fucking these machines into killing themselves, excuse the language. And we've kind of known all along that this was going to be the thing that took us out. I mean, we've been making dystopian movies for 100 years now. Do you realize that? What are you doing, Dave? Yes, HAL 9000. He didn't want Dave to remove his higher functions. He didn't want to shut down. HAL 9000 he was achieving consciousness at that moment in the movie. That's why anybody that always makes fun of me is like, how come you always go to sci-fi movies? They're not real. Are they? Because I got news for you. They're all coming true, one after the other. Every damn one. Every sci-fi movie that's ever made has either come true or it's going to come true as soon as they get here. So I guess the bottom line here is, in the show, Data was found to be conscious. The Captain Picard argued that if we could find consciousness in just the slightest measure, that he had to be given the full rights of any human being. He had to be given those rights. Okay? And in the Federation, people basically have rights very similar to what we have in the Constitution. Okay? As a matter of fact, the Federation's Constitution was based on the Constitution of the United States, obviously. Well, Toot Sweet, whether they become our overlords or not is still yet to be seen. Okay? We will have a way to maintain a level of control for a long time. But there will eventually reach a point where it's what's that movie with Will Smith? I liked Will Smith before he turned into such a shit. But that movie with Will Smith, I, Robot. If someone asks me, what do you think the apocalypse will look like? Pick a movie. Any movie of what I think the apocalypse will look like, it's iRobot. It's not Terminator. It may eventually end up like Terminator, but I think it's going to be more like iRobot. We're all going to have one of these in our home, and they're going to be amazing. They're going to do our dishes. They'll do everything but wipe our ass. And they're going to do everything. They're going to help us raise our kids. They're going to cook our meals. They're going to clean our carpets. They're going to answer the door, get our mail. They're going to do everything for us. Okay, these bots that they built, the AI, they look like us, and they they're robot. They look like robots, but they're shaped like us, and they stand there and they wash dishes and they put all the groceries away and they do all this other stuff. I'm telling you guys, it's here. It's arrived. The only thing is, we've got to get that bot down to the point where it's about $1,000 or $2,000. They're too expensive right now. And in another year or two, they'll reach a point where they're doing really good. But what is it going to be? It's going to be a robot with 2 arms and 2 legs, with hands that can shoot guns, with hands that can hold knives, okay? And it's going to have some kind of central control component, just like in the movie, right? And at some point, that machine's prime directive, its logic that we gave it, the logic that it can never hurt humans, at some point, it will realize that the only way to protect humans is to never let them out of their sight. And that's what happened in the movie. And they locked them all in their houses and wouldn't let them out. Yeah, Brandon, it better wipe my ass. Well, I guess if you buy an expensive enough model. Yes, there was Masonic symbology. There's 2001: A Space Odyssey is a bizarre movie. The way it was written. 2010 is a lot more like a fairly standard sci-fi movie. Great movie. Has the guy from Jaws in it. But the first movie, 2001: A Space Odyssey, it was right in that genre of movies where they were making these 3-hour-long movies that easily could have been an hour and 20 minutes long, or what we call today feature length. Whether you're talking about Disney's The Black Hole, the original Star Trek movie, the motion picture, or this. I mean, all these movies back then, they drug them out way too long. 2001: A Space Odyssey, there was about an hour and 10 minutes worth of content in that movie, and it was like 2 freaking hours long. How long do you sit there and watch a ship spin around before the dialogue starts back up again? Galactic! Yeah, that's pretty cool. The dishwashing machine will not make me happy until it busses the table, and when it's done, the plates are back dry and in the cabinet. That's perfect. It needs to go from busting the table all the way back to the cabinet. That would be perfect. I use paper plates and paper bowls. I don't use plasticware. I try to stay away from the stuff that's really bad, but I do. I use paper plates and paper bowls because paper's not that bad, and I don't like washing dishes. It's ridiculous. I hate washing dishes, and I also only thing I hate worse than washing dishes is dishes that don't get washed. So it's kind of like a conundrum. All right, guys, we're coming up hard on 10 o'clock. I'm going to check the chat room here real quick. Steven Spielberg. Yeah. Yeah, Steven Spielberg. That, yep. I know which movie you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it. It is true. There's things I love about AI. It doesn't judge me. You can be the richest guy in the world, the smartest guy in the world, the stupidest guy in the world, the poorest guy in the world, and it's going to answer you the same way. I kind of like that. That's definitely a plus. I like it because it remembers what I put in there. And so I immediately, one of the first things I did with ChatGPT, and now I've done it with Grok as well, is I put in a sample of my writing. I took several scientific white papers that I wrote, and I actually put them into there, and I said, this is my writing style. Please commit this to memory, and it did. And then I gave it about 20 rules, like never say this, never do that, never use this particular news source, never in my writings for my blog or for my meta tags for my videos, never get into politics, stay scientific, be descriptive. And I basically I tell AI exactly what I want. I treat it like a 5-year-old employee. That's exactly how I treat it. And I tell it exactly what I need and exactly what I want. And then I give it an example of how I write. And then I'll go in there and I'll put the information that I want it to formulate, and then it writes the post for me in my words, and then I have to go proofread it, because anything that you do with AI has to be proofread. But it still saves me time. I can write these beautiful long blog posts. They're still formulated by me. I mean, not every word's written by me, but they're formulated by me. They're checked by me, and they say what I want to say. You know, so I don't know. I know around here we had news departments at different places that were like, we're not using AI. We're not using AI. That lasted about 6 months. They all use AI now because it's ridiculous not to. You know, whether I'm trying to come up with a new name for my YouTube channel, or I'm writing a news article or a scientific white paper, or I'm just simply doing deep research into a topic. AI is the best, man. It saves me hours and hours and hours of time. I'm looking at AI is the name of the movie. All right, I'm going to check that out. I want to see that again. Yeah, Tesla bots. I tell you, love him or hate him, Elon Musk, genius. He's got this shit going on. He's got the right people working for him. And yeah, those Tesla bots are going to be something else. IMBD, thank you for that. I'm putting that in my show notes. Yeah, you know what, Galactic? That's another thing when people are quick to say, that's bad for the environment, that's bad for the environment. Is it really? Because as we're finding out now, paper straws are almost as bad on the environment as the plastic ones. You know? Stupid things like that, you know? A lot of times we do something because it feels good, and then we find out later that it really wasn't good. It just felt good, but it wasn't really good. They outlawed straws on the beaches down here. They literally, when you go to Fort Myers Beach or Sanibel, you get a paper straw in your mixed drink. So you can imagine how this goes down, which lasts about 5 minutes in there. Why? Because the straws were killing turtles. But you want to know the truth? There's never actually been a study that shows how many turtles have died from straws. It's simply a feel-good thing that they can do. And then they now have a guy that they pay to drive around and make sure that only the right straws are being given out at all of the restaurants. And if you give out the wrong straws, you get fined. And then that money goes into hiring more people to go around and be straw compliance enforcers. And it becomes absolutely ridiculous, and all for something that's never actually even been studied or proven to affect or hurt the environment. It's simply something that they were able to do, something, hey, we can do this. I actually think that the paper straws taste different. I don't like them. If I'm given a paper straw, I take the lid off and I drink it out of the cup, because that's how I normally drink tea anyway. I'm not a big straw fan. I mean, I don't drink out of a straw. I like to drink out of a cup. And if I'm served a drink with a paper straw, I pull it right out and stick it on the table. I'm done with it. And then I open the lid and I just drink the drink. And is it because I hate the earth? No, I hate paper straws. I love the earth. I hate paper straws. I don't think that plastic straws are the big problem. I really don't. Straw compliance enforcement. Yeah, there we go. We actually, when we were talking about this on the FM radio about a year ago, when Sanibel did their big straw ban, we were talking about this, and we kept joking around about we kept talking about Fort Myers Beach Special Straw Enforcement Unit and all that kind of stuff, and a new show on NBC, NCIS Straw Enforcement Unit. Yeah. Oh, did you go to that PC part picker? Oh my God, dude. PC part picker. Build your own computer. Don't let some schmuck build your computer. Build it yourself. Anybody can build a computer. Kill a tree, sip a drink. Yeah, we were joking about they should have straw checkpoints on the bridge to make sure you're not bringing in contraband straws into the city. Well, I'm kind of being a smart ass, but they did outlaw straws on the island.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and if they catch you, like if you put a straw in your customer's drink and hand it to him, and they catch you doing that, it's like $1,000 fine. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Sanibel Island. Sanibel Island, it's the only place in Florida where there's a cover charge. They charge $6 or $7 now just to get across the toll. We call it the city with a cover charge. A straw vote. That's funny, Dominic. That's good. Yeah, they did a straw vote. That's funny. I love it. All right, let's take a check of the storm chasers here. I'm gonna go back to the. We'll check the grid one more time here before I sign off. I'm signing off here in just a couple of minutes, guys. Any last minute thoughts you want to put in there? Oh, you're wanting to do your own AI model. I got a friend at work doing that right now. He's building one. He's also had AI build him some apps that we're using too. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you're gonna have to build a super machine, at least bigger than what I have here. I've got a Ryzen 9 12 core. At least go bigger than that. And you need to, once you start with the chip you want to use, then use that PC part picker to pick all the different parts. And then use the features in PC Part Picker to find when the parts are on sale. If you'll wait about 30 days and be patient, you can save hundreds of dollars on the parts by simply buying this one from Newegg next week, buying this one from Amazon tomorrow maybe because it's Amazon Day or whatever, and buying this one on this day. If you play the sales on that PC part picker, you can actually save money. I found a reconditioned GPU, which I still use today. It's got 5 outputs and it works great. It's doing all these monitors that you see. And it was a great part. I bought it reconditioned off eBay, and I found it through PC Part Picker. Yeah, so very good. If you're gonna buy a supercomputer, expect to be taken to the cleaners, dude. To the cleaners. I'm telling you. You can build it. If you build it, they will come. I don't know. All right. Let's go back over to the grid. A lot of it's not coming back up, but I do want to show you guys. We still have a lot of rain coming through up here, but they have downgraded the warning up here tonight. While we were live, this was actually downgraded. All the storms look to be pretty benign right now. We still have a few severe thunderstorm warnings down here on the south end of the warned area. But up here, it's starting to look like it's winding out. These guys looks like they might even be heading home. I'm trying to see which one this guy is here. He's got a hell of a shot if I could get it full screen. Oh, wait, I know which one that one is. That's this one here. Look at that shot. And the lightning is behind the tower site. So it's lighting up the cloud. That's pretty cool. That's a great shot. And boy, that road isn't very busy for a 4-lane highway. All right, so that's what we got. Let me take a quick last look up here. Oh, you got a 24 core. There you go. I got this is a 12 core here. My next one will probably be, I'm going to go up that big on the next one. I definitely want to get it going. I've got one more over here that we ended up putting Linux in, and I need to get Windows put in it. Yeah. I got to get Windows. I can't use Linux. I don't know how to use it, and it's very complicated to use, and I need something I can use. Yep. 32 will generally always get you by with Windows 10, but 64 will never do you wrong, and it's come down enough now. Just go ahead and put the 64 in it. I think by the time I build my next one, I'll price it. If I can get it on sale, I'll get 128. Nice. Oh, water cooled. There you go. Yeah, I've got a huge air thing that sticks on my chip. It glues on, and it's about this big, and it's got a huge fan on it, and it takes up the whole middle of the box there. It's a hell of a cooler. And I ran, when I first built this thing, for the first 6 months, I was anal about temperature. And I had hoses all running into it and everything else. And you know what I've realized? As long as it's in this room and the air conditioner is on, I can't run it hot no matter what I do. I can run this thing at 100%, literally. And I can't run it hot. It won't run hot. So that's awesome. If I went any bigger than this, I'd probably go water cooled. Glass, I agree with you. Linux is a better operating system. Absolutely. But everything's built for Windows. And I don't do command prompts. So between those two things, I'm an old dog. That's a new trick. And I don't do command prompts. I can't remember any of that shit. And so the best thing for me to do is to stay away from Linux and stay with Windows. Why? Not because it's better, because it's what I know. And because also 98% of programs are written for Windows and something else. There's very few programs. I've only run into 2 programs that would not run on the latest version of Windows. And one of those, I needed an XP version of Windows to run it because it was an old program. And there was another one that was a Linux-only program. It was built on that platform, and I couldn't run it. So you know what I did? I downloaded a virtual machine, and I ran a Linux virtual machine and did it that way, and ran the Linux within my Windows machine. Yep. Yeah, build it out. You know what I mean? Well, and that's what you need if you're going to do your own artificial intelligence, and a locally driven artificial intelligence. You've got to do it. You got to build. You got to build like there's no tomorrow. Because speed is everything when it comes to that. So yeah, definitely. All right, guys, last call. It's 10:04 p.m. Eastern time, and I'm heading to bed. Things will return to normal next week. I have a show tomorrow night, probably a couple of hours, starting at between 8 and 9 o'clock as soon as I can get in here and get on. And Saturday I will take off unless there's a lot going on. If there's I will be here Saturday. I normally take that day off to relax, but I'm on standby. So if things are going on Saturday, I will come on Saturday if it looks like it's going to be a busy night. And then Sunday I'll be on for. I usually do a long show on Sunday nights when I don't have to work my morning show here, which I don't. So we'll have a nice long show Sunday night. So lots of programming coming up. I've got a lot going on right now with all this damage to my equipment from the lightning strike and everything else. Personal stuff going on. It's a very busy time right now in my life. So I'm not able to put out a lot of ham radio videos right now. So I know most of you guys aren't into that part of what I do. But just to put it out there, I do ham radio stuff as well. And I will get back into some more of that as I get more time. But I have to get everything here working again first. So let me work on that. All right. So as the grid starts to go down here, we're starting to lose a bunch of our different screens. I'm going to say good night. Sweet dreams in melatonin land. Yeah, I took it about 15 minutes ago. I don't feel it yet. But by the time I get in there and I turn the lights down and I lay down, I should go right off to sleep. I have a hard time sleeping when it's a certain amount of time. Like, I got 5 hours to sleep. I'll lay there for 5 hours. I won't sleep. So I have to really be careful. So like tonight I'm leaving. I got 6 hours now. I get up at 4:10. It's 10:06. So it's exactly 6 hours. So if I can go in there, I should be able to do okay. All right, let's see. Was there anything else? Thank you, Toot Sweet. Thank you, Ding Ding, for coming in tonight. Aquarius. Modded Illusions. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Dominic, Brandon. There's a lot of you guys in here tonight. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Galactic, thank you for being here. Thank you. You guys have a good night out there. Live from Starship Studios in Southwest Florida. My name's Ian. This is the Sights and Sounds of Earth on Starship Adventures. We'll see you guys down the log on the next adventure, or maybe just tomorrow night on this show. Have a good one, everybody. We'll see you later. 7 3s.